Hi Pine class, welcome back to your maths lesson. So far this week we've looked at column addition, first without any exchanges and then with exchanges. We're now going to move on to looking at column subtraction, and today we will do it without exchanges before moving on to the trickier exchanges tomorrow. So first things first, we're going to look to try and use manipulative, so physical objects, to help us with column subtraction to start with. So if you look at my top sum on the board, we've got 7,543, and then beneath it we've got 5,312, and we're going to try and take away 5,312 from 7,543. And you'll notice that I've arranged the numbers perfectly on top of each other, so the units line up, the tens line up, the hundreds and the thousands. Really important. Now hopefully you'll remember that we always start with the units, the smallest denomination. So to help us with this today, I've got some household equipment, and it would be really useful if you could do the same when you have a go at doing yours. Try and find household equipment that you can use to represent thousands, hundreds, tens and units. Now for ours, I've chosen toilet rolls to represent my thousands, so you'll see there are 7 of those. And I've chosen these quite long grey Lego bits to represent our hundreds. Some shorter white Lego bricks to represent our tens, and these very small grey Lego bricks to represent our ones. And we're going to try and use this equipment to help us with our first sum. So, if we look back at the top one, we're starting with our units. We've got 3 units, take away 2 units. So, these are my units. I've got 3 of them. I'm going to take 2 of them away. 1, 2. Excellent. And that leaves us with just 1 unit left, so I can fill that in on my board. 3 take away 2 is 1. Next, looking at our tens, I've got 4 tens, and I'm going to be taking 1 of them away. So here are my tens, 4 of them, and I need to take 1 of them away. Leaves me with 3, so I can pop that number in as well. Excellent. Moving along to the left to my hundreds, shows me that I've got 5 hundreds and I need to take 3 of them away. So here are my 500s, and I'm going to take 3 of those away. 1, 2, 3, and that leaves me with just 2 of them. I can pop that in as well. And finally my thousands, shows me I've got 7,000 and I need to take 5 of them away. So here are my 7,000s. I'm going to get rid of 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I've just got 2 thousands left. So the answer to our first calculation, using those manipulatives, should read 2,231. And it'd be really good when you guys get going with some of your calculations if you use household objects to help you as well to start with. It really will help your understanding before you go on to doing this without having to use them. Now question 2, that's in our blue pen. It says question mark equals 4,652 take away 432. Now this is a bit unusual because normally we have our calculation followed by our equal sign and then our answer. Now I've just thrown this in to try and confuse you a little bit, because it doesn't matter where your equal sign goes, it's still the same calculation. So this question mark equals 4,652 take away 432 is exactly the same as if I were to set it up as 4,652 take away 432 equals. Just because the equal sign is in a different place doesn't mean it's any different, so don't be confused by that. Now I'm going to set up this calculation so it's in our column subtraction grid. So if I look at my largest number, 4,652, I can see there that I've got 4 thousands I need to put in. I've got 600s, I've got 5 tens, and I've got 2 units. So that number's nicely in there. Now the number that I'm going to be subtracting from this is 432. Do I have any thousands in that number? No, I don't. So I do not need to put a number in the thousands column. But I do, however, have 4 hundreds. I've got 3 tens. And I've got 2 units. So that is now set up beautifully for column subtraction. So let's try and solve it without manipulatives. So starting with our units, we've got 2 take away 2, which as we know is 0. Then moving across to our tens, we've got 5 take away 3. You can do this on your fingers, it's that simple. That would give us 2. Moving across to our hundreds, we've got 6 take away 4. That also gives us 2. And then finally, if we look at our thousands, I've got 4 take away, and then I have a blank space. I don't have any thousands there. So it's the equivalent of 0. So 4 take away 0 would still be 4. So my answer should look like this, 4,220. Now the final one, I should move these out of the way, I wanted to do with you was a bit of a worded problem, and it involves you doing your bar charts, which you guys were really good at earlier in the year. So the question is this: there are 1,938 children in a school, 827 are girls, how many are boys? So you can use your bar diagram to set up this problem before then using your column subtraction. So we already know, we're told in the question that there are 1,938 children in total. So our biggest number has got to be represented in our top bar. Then in our bar beneath, we already know that we've got 827 girls, but we don't know yet how many boys there are. And that's where our little question mark comes in. What figure is represented by that question mark? That's where we need to use our column subtraction to work it out. So, how we're going to work out how many boys is this. We're going to have the total number of children, which is 1,938, and we're going to take away the number of girls, which are 827. That should tell us how many are left, and this number will tell us how many boys there are. So, let's do this final one together. Looking first at our units, 8 take away 7 gives us 1. 3 take away 2 also gives us 1. 9 take away 8, also 1. And then in my thousands column, I've got 1 take away, don't have anything in there, so it's the equivalent to 0. 1 take away 0 gives me 1. So that means that in the school, there are 1,111 boys. Now I can fill that in to complete my bar chart. 1,111, get rid of that, boys. And those of you that are really good at using inverse calculations will realise that if you were to add 1,111 to 827, that should give you a total of 1,938. So you can always use your inverse calculations to check your answers are correct. Okay, good luck with your work today. Remember to try and use some household objects to help you, and I look forward to seeing how you get on. Good luck.